Hey everybody, I am sitting in my car right now about to pick up some groceries, but I wanted to kind of, I guess, say all of this while my head was fresh. I spent the last few days at a conference or a convention to help people like me grow their business and be more authentic and finding their voice and such. And so it was great. I'm glad I went. I didn't go to the whole thing, but I'm glad I showed up for parts of it. And one of the things that a colleague of mine we were discussing afterwards today was, just how fundamental it is when you are wanting to create something, how much we think about what we want, but we don't think about who we need to be to have that in our life. And obviously you wouldn't become a brain surgeon without going to school to learn how to cut someone open, what nerves to avoid, and how to use a scalpel, and understanding anatomy and physiology. There's things that we do to prepare for the role that we want. And I kind of want to keep this video specific to relationships, because if there's one thing I hear more often than not, and it's kind of sad because we live in a world now where it's like just swipe left, swipe right. I don't do Tinder. I've never done Tinder. I don't even know how it works except that you swipe, right? And the thing is, we've gotten so used to being like, that's what I want, but not knowing how to be in the dynamic. So for example, people say, oh, I want this knight in shining armor. I want this really amazing guy. But these women have no idea how to show up and be a good listener. They don't know how to be sympathetic to their partner. They don't know how to be compassionate. They don't know how to be patient. So they want all of these magical qualities in their relationship, but they have no clue how to manage a good relationship. And, I was talking to my colleague, and we were talking about, our past, and, he was married for many years, and I was talking about lots of ex-boyfriends that I've had, and how, I kind of finally hit this point around 2015 where it really has just kind of leveled off as far as, I don't do power struggles anymore. I don't do chaos anymore. I don't do drama anymore. And not because they changed, but because I changed. And so much of what we create in our life isn't just the ability to, materialize it out of thin air. It's understanding that the opportunities will present themselves when you're ready to play that role, and I'm really late to the game as far as I guess the average person is waiting longer to get married and have children, so maybe I'm not that late to the game, but I was raised Mormon, so I feel a little late to the game as far as getting that part of my life started. But I had to confess, I was like, there was no way that I was fully prepared to be the woman I wanted to show up for. I wasn't ready to be that partner. I certainly wasn't capable of being present for children. So it's one thing to say, I want the picture. It's another thing to be in the experience and fundamentally being capable of managing the role. They're two very different things. And I know plenty of people who have the picture, okay, and they are fucking miserable, excuse my language, all right? And I know a lot of people who just continue to swipe left, swipe right, whatever it is, right? Because they keep assuming that it's the next person, instead of looking in the mirror and going, gee, maybe I need to become that person. Maybe I need to work on myself. Maybe there are things that I need to do so that I can show up in the partnership ready to manage a higher quality experience. Because if you're not ready to manage a higher quality experience, I guarantee you're not going to get what you want. You have to be prepared. You have to know how to do these things. And a lot of that comes with being vulnerable, being authentic, being truly honest. I mean, like, communication skills. You don't come to a relationship, you know, especially when you're young, you don't show up like with all of these skills. You learn them, right? And so if you haven't taken inventory of the relationships in the past that haven't worked and gone, gee, where could I have gone better? Well, then how do you expect something different to show up? It's not going to happen. You need to look at where you can improve so that you bring more to the table. And I guarantee as a result, you know, someone else will show up. You know, it's funny because I was telling him afterwards, I said, it's funny, like when I talk to clients or whatever, and they talk about the drama that they're going through, the power struggle, and I'm like, wow, that stuff still exists. Like, I'm so far removed from it these days because of like where I'm at in terms of, you know, how I show up in a relationship, that I'm like, wow, people still struggle with that. People still have drama and jealousy and chaos. And it's like, whoa, okay. You know, and of course they do. I'm removed from it. I don't attract it. I don't have that in my world, but people still deal with that. And it's because they haven't learned how to have a higher quality experience, basically. So, yeah, we need to take the focus off of like the perfect person. Like, oh, he has to look this way, make this amount of money, and stop focusing so much on their resume and look at our own, you know, like how qualified are we for the relationship that we seem to want, right? And of course, this principle applies to anything in life, but it seems to be the most relatable when we talk about it in terms of relationships, because we all deal with relationships. So, yeah, think about that next time you're pointing the finger at the guy or girl that didn't work out, and ask yourself, like, be honest with yourself. Am I showing up differently? Am I becoming someone who I would want to date? Because if you're not someone you'd want to date, why do you expect the other person to put up with you? I don't know. So anyway, that's all. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.